After the family reunion, I checked my account. It was empty. My brother-in-law scoffed. We needed it more than you. Hands shaking, I reached into my bag. Then you won't mind what's coming next. They laughed. Then came the bang. The door flew open. Ethan, clearly furious, stood leaning against the fridge, a beer in hand and that signature half-smirk plastered across his face. "Relax," he said. "We needed it more than you." I blinked, thumb hovering over the refresh button on my banking app. I'd already tapped it 3 times, but the number didn't change, 87. That had to be wrong. Just yesterday, I had over $14,000. 14,000. My voice cracked. Emily, my sister, didn't even flinch. She was curled up on the couch, sipping wine like this was just another cozy Tuesday. "Oh, don't be so dramatic," she said. "It's not like we stole it. We're family. You drained my account." "It's not draining if we're gonna pay it back," Logan chimed in with a shrug. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. I turned to Mom, Linda, sitting in the corner with her knitting. She didn't even look up. "Mom," I raised my voice, "did you know?" She sighed, like I'd just accused her of burning dinner. "Sweetheart, you're always so sensitive. You've got a good job, no mortgage, no kids, you live alone, you're fine. So that makes stealing okay?" "Language," Dad muttered from behind his phone. I looked at Emily. "How did you even get access?" "You left your info on the family computer," she said, completely unbothered. "Maybe don't log in and walk away next time. Honestly, it's your own fault." "My own fault?" My fists clenched. Breathing shallow. "You're blowing this way out of proportion," Logan said. "It's not like we wasted it. We paid rent. Bought food. Just trying to survive. You didn't ask." "We didn't think we needed to," Emily snapped. "You've been footing the bill for years. What's the difference now?" I slowly picked up my bag. No one moved. No one apologized. No one even looked surprised. "You're leaving already?" Mom asked. "Yep," I said, zipping up my coat. "But don't worry. I'll be in touch." "Don't be like that," Emily rolled her eyes. "We needed it more than you. That's just facts." My hand hit the doorknob. I paused. "Then you won't mind what's coming next." They laughed. But something had already started, outside. "You always helped," someone called out. "That's what you're for, right? Hey, you okay?" It was Rachel, my cousin, catching up to me as I reached my car, fists tight, jaw locked. "No," I muttered, wrenching the door open. I heard what Emily said next, low but clear. That wasn't right. I didn't respond. If I spoke, I would have screamed. Thing is, this wasn't new. 4 years, I've been the dependable one, the one with a stable job, the one who never needed help. Which, in their eyes, made me the family wallet. It started small. Emily missed a phone bill. I covered it. Then Logan lost his job, borrowed a little something to get by. Then there was that birthday gift for their kid. I offered to help. Never paid for it, they just assumed I would. Every time, they acted like I owed them. "You're lucky, Ethan," Mom would say, in that sugar-coated but sharp way. "God gave you an easy life so you could help your family." Dad would add, "You wouldn't even be here if it weren't for us." Translation: "We gave you life. Now give us your paycheck." I never asked for anything. Not when I was laid off and living off rice and eggs. Not when I skipped vacations 3 years straight to rebuild my savings. Not even when I paid off their credit card debt 2 years ago. They never paid me back. Never said thank you. "You still coming to the reunion?" Emily had asked last week. "Yeah," I said. "Should I bring anything?" Her reply was quick. "Just yourself and your card." I thought she was joking. She wasn't. 2 days after the whole thing, Emily called me. I ignored it. She called again. And again. Then Logan texted. "Call her. She's freaking out." I finally answered on the 5th ring. "Ethan," she started, voice low, shaky. "We have a problem." "Oh, we do. Look, don't be like that. Something happened. I stayed quiet. The power company came by. We're way behind on bills. If we don't pay by Monday, they're shutting it off. Then silence. So, we need your help. I laughed. Short, bitter. You emptied my savings. And now you're asking for more. It wasn't just for us, she snapped. We used some for Mom and Dad too. Dad's car broke down last month, remember? No, I don't. Because no one told me. Because you always say no unless it's an emergency. Emily, I said flatly, this isn't just wrong. It's criminal. You're being dramatic. It's family. We didn't think you'd mind. You've always helped. That's what you're for. Right. There it was. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment from the last 5 years. The transfers, the favors, the way Mom said, "You're the strong one," the way Emily rolled her eyes when I hesitated. They didn't see me as a brother or a son. Just a resource. 3 days later, Mom called. "We need to talk." "No, how are you?" No mention of the money. Nothing about my job. "We're planning a family dinner. Just us. Come tonight." My stomach turned. "What's this really about, Mom?" I asked. "You've caused a lot of tension." I caused the tension. Still, I went. Part of me wanted answers. Part of me wanted to see if they'd even pretend to be sorry. They didn't. When I walked in, Emily was already there, arms crossed. Logan looked bored. Mom was in the kitchen. Dad was reading the mail like it was any other night. Emily jumped in. "Are we going to act like adults or not?" "Depends," I said. "You ready to admit to felony theft?" She rolled her eyes. "God, you're so extra. It wasn't theft, it's family money. You always help. We needed it." Logan nodded. "You can afford it. Why all the drama?" "I never gave permission." "You didn't say no either," Emily muttered. I turned to Mom. "You're okay with this?" She looked away. We all agreed. You've always been the one who could handle it. No one thought to ask. "We trusted you," Dad added. "Trusted you to do what's right." I stood up. "And doing what's right means letting you rob me with a smile?" "Stop saying steal," Emily shouted. "It was for the family. Then you won't mind when the family faces the consequences." Logan narrowed his eyes. "What's that supposed to mean?" I didn't answer. "Not yet. You don't get to cry now." When I stepped inside, the whole family was already there. Mom was noisily setting the table, the clatter of plates louder than necessary. Dad sat on the couch, flipping channels like this was just another ordinary Thursday. Emily stood by the window, arms crossed, jaw clenched tight. Logan lounged at the end of the table, acting like he was about to watch a game, not about to face the fallout from draining someone's life savings. "Well, look who finally decided to show up," Emily said dryly. I dropped my bag by the door without a word. "Let's just get this over with," I muttered. Logan smirked. "Maybe now we can stop pretending you got robbed." "I was robbed," I shot back as I sat down. That was the signal. Mom cleared her throat. "Ethan, we know you're upset, but you have to understand, we were struggling. We didn't have any other choice." Emily and Logan, they were sinking fast. Dad added, "You've always been the steady one. We counted on you." "You never asked," I said, my voice cold. "You took. That's not family. That's theft." Emily rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting. We didn't blow it on junk. We spent it where it mattered." "No." I reached into my bag, pulled out a printed spreadsheet, and slammed it onto the table. $72 on makeup, $900 on takeout, $2,300 to cover your car loan. Logan hadn't thought I'd check. He leaned forward, face darkening. "You went through our accounts?" "Oh, I did. And more." I opened my laptop. The screen lit up with a sharp, color-coded breakdown, every charge, every transfer, fully traceable. I'd compiled every transaction, filed a fraud report. And guess what they said? Emily's eyes went wide. "You didn't." "I did." "You called the police," she shrieked. I looked at Mom. "Still think this is just family drama? This is insane." Dad snapped. "You want to put your own sister behind bars? You put yourself there." Then came the knock. 3 heavy, sharp pounds on the door. Emily went pale. Logan stood up too fast. Linda gasped and stepped back. David froze. "Open up," a voice barked. "Financial Crimes Unit." Knock, knock, knock. Logan turned to me, voice low. "Ethan, tell me you're not serious." I opened the door. 3 agents stepped inside, jackets marked in bold letters. One held a clipboard, another a tablet, the third scanned the room. "You Ethan Carver?" "Yes. Thanks for your cooperation. We'll take it from here." Linda covered her mouth. Emily slumped into a chair, legs shaking. Logan stood dumbfounded. One agent addressed them, "Your parties of interest in an ongoing investigation for financial fraud and identity theft." "Identity theft?" Linda cried. "He's our son." The agent didn't flinch. "Family ties don't make illegal acts legal, ma'am." "We didn't steal anything," Emily protested. "We had a right. He always helped us." "Thinking you're entitled to someone's money doesn't make it yours," another agent said calmly. "Please remain seated." I stood back and watched. For once, they weren't talking over me, mocking me, laughing. Linda turned to me, voice shaking, tears welling. "Ethan, please. We never meant to hurt you. We were desperate. You've always been the strong one. The only one we could count on." I looked her straight in the eye. "You don't get to cry now." She covered her mouth and sobbed. Emily tried to speak but couldn't. Logan looked ready to bolt, but sat down under the agent's gaze. "You want to know what family is?" I stepped forward. "It's trust, respect, asking, not taking, not stealing, not laughing while you bleed me dry." They said nothing. I grabbed my bag and turned to the lead agent. "I'll be outside." They didn't stop me. "You're free now, Ethan. Don't go back." I left the house in silence. No one chased me. No one called my name. No guilt. No drama. No Emily screaming her "How could you?" Just the cold night air and tires crunching behind me as the agents escorted them out one by one. I didn't stay to watch. That night, I drove without a destination, past closed coffee shops and glowing gas stations, my phone buzzing nonstop beside me. I ignored every call. Didn't want to hear apologies disguised as excuses. By midnight, I parked outside the only place that ever felt like a safe harbor, my grandmother's old house. She passed a few years ago, but I still had her key. She used to say, "If they ever turn on you, Ethan, come here. The door will always be open." And that night it was. I slept 11 hours straight. No texts. No guilt. No suffocating tension pressing on my chest like when I was near my family. When I woke, I made coffee in a chipped mug and watched the sun creep over the fence she once tended. For the first time in years, I breathed easy. But the silence didn't last. The first email came from David. "This has gone too far. You humiliated the family. What happened to loyalty?" No reply. Then Emily texted, "Hope you're happy. They're freezing my accounts. Logan's under investigation at work. You ruined our lives over a few payments. A few. Try tens of thousands. Try 5 years of silent sacrifice." Then Linda left a voicemail. Her voice soft, cracking. "You didn't have to do this. We could have handled it like family. Ethan, please. They're threatening charges. We might lose the house." I kept hearing that line. We might lose the house. And suddenly, I wasn't angry. Not vindictive. I just didn't care. Because I already lost a home years ago, when they decided I was worth more as a bank account than a son. 2 days later, a message from someone unexpected. "Logan. Brother. We were never close." Maybe 5 words exchanged on birthdays. But his text was clear. "Just so you know, Emily's trying to pin it on you. Says you knew and approved the transfers. Lawyers involved. Watch your back." I almost laughed. Even now, with everything falling apart, she's still spinning. That night, I called my lawyer. "Send everything," I said. "We're not just pressing charges. I want a restraining order too." But not every message was hostile. A week later, an email from Amy, Logan's sister. "I know we haven't spoken in years, but I want you to know. You were right. About all of it. How they treat you. How toxic it's gotten. I thought you were cold. Now I think you're brave." I stared at her words. Brave. No one in my family ever called me that. One morning, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me pick up. "Ethan." The voice was small, hoarse. It was Emily. I said nothing. She kept going. Look, I know I screwed up. Went too far. Didn't think it would end like this. Logan's suspended. Mom's crying non-stop. Dad won't talk to me. And you? She hesitated. You always had the power to ruin everything. And you finally did. I was silent a moment. Then flat. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped letting you walk over me. Silence. Then, can you just drop it? Please. I'll do anything. Just make it stop. I almost felt something. Almost. Then I remembered what she said that night. We needed it more than you. I smiled bitterly. No, I said. You made this mess. You live in it. And I hung up. That night, I cooked dinner in peace. Played my favorite college album. Sat on the porch with a mug of coffee, watching the world go by. And for the first time since I was a teen, no one asked me for money. No guilt trips. No feeling like my worth was tied to what I gave. I wasn't their wallet anymore. I was just me. And that was enough. I'm not your bank. I'm not your safety net. I'm done. Peace is strange. Nobody warns you it's quiet. Not fireworks, no loud music, no grand celebration. For me, peace sounded like no one asking for money. No accusations of selfishness. No texts beginning with "since you're the only one doing well." Just silence. Sweet, uninterrupted silence. 3 months have passed since I blew everything up. 3 months since the investigation began, since my family stared, stunned, as agents walked through their front door and reality shattered years of denial. They say you can't choose your family. Maybe that's true. But you can choose how much of yourself you'll lose trying to keep them happy. And I was done losing. I told my lawyer, let it burn. A week later, Linda sent a 10-page letter. Her handwriting was neat but shaky in spots. She wrote about how things spiraled, how they never meant to hurt me, how she hoped I could see the bigger picture. We just assumed you'd always be there, she wrote. That's what good sons do. That line stuck, because it said everything. Not we were wrong. Not you didn't deserve that. Just, you were supposed to stay silent and keep giving. I didn't respond. Didn't call. For the first time, I didn't feel guilty. I moved. New apartment, new state. No more surprise visits. No more unannounced drop-ins from relatives. I even changed my number. My boss noticed how focused I'd become and offered me a promotion. I took it. Funny how much better work goes when you're not secretly juggling your sister's car payments and your mom's overdue bills. I sleep better. I eat better. I breathe better. Because I'm no longer carrying 4 people who never said thank you. Then one morning, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside, a check for $1,200 and a handwritten note. I left him. You were right. I was scared. But watching you, it gave me the courage to walk away too. This is for everything you paid for, Ethan. The tablet, rent, clothes. I know Logan never thanked you, but I am. Thank you for being the example I needed. Amy. I read it twice. Then I cried. Not from sadness. Not from pain. But because, for once, someone in that family saw me. Not a wallet. Not a scapegoat. But a person. People ask me sometimes, do you regret it? The answer's simple. No. I regret waiting so long. Every sleepless night. Every cancelled trip. Every tight budget I lived under while they dined out and posted grateful family vibes online. I regret shrinking myself so they could feel bigger. I regret the times I stayed quiet when I should have said, you're crossing a line. But do I regret standing up? Burning it down? Never. My therapist once asked me, why did it take so long to say no? I said, because I thought saying no meant I didn't love them. She nodded. Saying no teaches people how to love you back. I never forgot that. A few days ago, I ran into someone from high school. She said, I saw what happened with your family. That's wild. I braced for pity or judgment. Instead, she smiled and said, good for you. Most people never get out. I thanked her. Walked away a little taller. Emily and Logan are still under investigation. Last I heard, Logan lost his job. Emily's account is frozen. Linda's scrambling to keep the house. David's blaming some outside influence for the family's collapse. They still don't get it. I didn't tear us apart. I just stopped pretending the pieces were whole. Sometimes, flashbacks hit. That night at the table. Emily laughing as I checked my account. Logan grinning like it was a joke. Linda brushing it off. "You don't need that money," she said. No. They know the truth. That money wasn't just money. It was my life. My time. My health. My boundaries. And they crossed those lines for years, like it meant nothing. Now they pay the price. I don't celebrate their downfall. But I celebrate myself for surviving, walking away, and not going back. Even when the silence felt lonely. Even when guilt whispered, like it always used to. Because that silence is freedom. If you're reading this, and you've been the strong one, the responsible one, the good son or daughter expected to pay and stay quiet, here's what I wish someone told me. You don't have to burn yourself out to keep others warm. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to walk away. And when you do, you don't lose a family. You find yourself.